So we're going to continue working on the theft unexpected source, or excuse me, sequence. So far we have just one clip in which John asks if a seat is free. First, we're going to use an overwrite edit to add a reaction shot to John's request for a chair. So open the shot HS suit in the source monitor. In and out points have already been added to this clip. So we need to go to our theft unexpected HS suit. I'll just double click that. You'll next need to set up a timeline panel carefully. This may seem like a slow process at first, but after practice you'll find editing is fast and easy. Also, it's common to perform several edits with the same settings before you need to change them. So we need to position the timeline playhead rather than the source monitor playhead, that's this one over here, around 4 seconds. So there's several ways we could do that. You could drag it till you get there, or you could go up here and do it. You could come over here and do it. Either way you want to do it, so just get it at the 4-second mark. Unless an in-out point has been added to the timeline, the playhead is used to position new clips when editing with the keyboard or on-screen buttons. When you drag a clip into a sequence, the location of the playhead and the existing in and out points are ignored. Though the new clip has an audio track, you don't need it. You're going to keep the audio that's already in the timeline. So click the source track selection indicator A1 to turn it off. So this right here, we're turning this off. Check that your track headers look like the example shown. Or excuse me, like mine, where these are both gray. Click the overwrite button in the source monitor. So the overwrite button is right here. See where my mouse is wiggling? So when you click that, look at there, it put this guy in there. Congratulations, you've completed an overwrite edit. By default, when you drag a clip into a sequence rather than using an on-screen button or keyboard shortcut, you'll perform an overwrite edit. You can perform an insert edit instead of by holding down the command or the control key while you drag. Now position the playhead at the beginning of the timeline and press the space bar or click play, and you can see the result of your edit. There you go. The timing might not be perfect, but you're now editing dialogue. Now we're going to try an insert edit. In the timeline panel, position the playhead over the excuse me clip just after John says excuse me, which is around 2:16. Oops, I'm messing up here. We want to, not the source panel, the timeline panel. 2:16. There. Don't do like I did. Go right here. So, make sure there's no endpoint or outpoint in the sequence. From the theft unexpected bin, open the clip mid-suit. And add an endpoint at 1:15:46. 1:15:46. $1:15:46, and we're going to add an endpoint and then add an outpoint at 1:15:48. I'm using the arrow on the keyboard. Outpoint. This is actually from a different part of the action, but the audience won't know, and it works well enough as a reaction shot. We'll adjust the timing later. In the timeline panel, we want to have this turned on. to A1. Click the Insert button on the source monitor. The clip, already in the sequence, splits with the part after the playhead moved later to make space for the new clip. This is the major difference between insert edits and overwrite edits. When you apply an insert edit, it makes your sequence longer. The clips already on the selected tracks located in the right of the arrow clip will now move later in the sequence to make room for the new clip. So position the playhead at the beginning of the sequence and play through your edit again. There you go. There's more work to be done, and there's a continuity issue near the start as John moves his jacket from one arm to the other, but this is beginning to look like a story unfolding. So let's get this at the beginning of the sequence again. Now open the mid-John clip. Mid-John. In and out points have already been applied to this clip. Position the timeline playhead at the end of the sequence on the frame after the excuse me clip. So as a note, as you're dragging this playhead over to the right, if you hold the shift key down, it will snap to the end right there. So click either the insert or overwrite button in the source monitor. I'm adjusting this down here so I can see all my clips. Now you're going to insert one more clip. Position the timeline playhead just before John takes a sip of tea, around 14 seconds in the sequence. Open the clip mid-suit. Use in and out points to choose a part you think would go well between John sitting down in his first sip of tea. An end point around 1:15:55. $1:15:55. So let's make an endpoint there. And an out point around 1:16. Out point, in point, out point. Notice that the existing in and out points are replaced when you add the new ones. So we need to edit the clip using an insert edit. So click insert. The timing of the edit may not be perfect, but that's okay. You can change your mind about timing later. That's the beauty of nonlinear editing. The important thing to begin with is to get the order of the clips right. So this would be a great time to save what we're doing, and I'll end this video.